until we make sure YouTube and the TV are live, or
YouTube. I bet YouTube is live.
we're live? Seeing the TV on there. All right. Good evening and welcome to the May 20th special meeting of the Litchfield Conservation Commission. Call this meeting to order at 7:00 p.m. Let's begin with roll call. I'll begin and we can move clockwise or counterclockwise rather, excuse me. I'm Matt Lepore, I'm the chairman.
Dawn McKibben, Vice Chair.
Diane Plansky, alternate.
Andrew Thompson, secretary.
Godzik, alternate.
St. Laurent, member.
Harry Manzigian, member.
And
Oh, sorry, John. And then we also have Jason. Do you want to go ahead? Let's go to WebEx.
Yep, Jason Brennan, alternate. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Cool.
and we got Jack.
So we
We
have,
did.
yep, we have 5 members and we have 5 alternates present. We have 1 vacancy, so I believe we can appoint one or 2 members, 2 members for the 7, correct? To fill the 2 vacancies for this evening.
The other vacancy.
There's the
Kevin.
vacant seat, and then there's also, oh,
Yeah,
the selectman. All right, and then
Why?
selectman's here, so, all right,
You can't replace the selectman.
Right.
He's on-
okay,
Unless it's another selectman.
Thank you.
okay.
Appreciate that.
All right, so there are no alternates to appoint them this evening? 5, 6.
6.
So there's that vacant seat
Oh, the
that we're
vacancy,
looking
right,
to
right,
fill.
right,
So I
right.
have to appoint 1 alternate.
You can, yes.
All right, Jack, you haven't been, I think it's been a while since you were last a voting member. You wanna, I'll appoint you to the 7th seat. Okay, is there any public input related to non-agenda items?
Didn't get an agenda. Or is it just the? Just
Okay.
brief.
Yep. So the one matter of business that we have this evening is to fill the 7th member, the 7th full-time member position on this commission. So at the last selectmen's meeting, the selectmen did not take action on our recommendation. So they have passed it back to us, and one of the suggestions that they had for us was to select 2 or 3 candidates to bring before the board at the next meeting, which is next Monday, for them to interview and basically appoint from. But but if it be at the will of the board, we could, go back with the same recommendation we had. We can go another direction. I have received either through correspondence, by email or a written letter, requests or recommendations for other members or alternates to fill this position. We have Marion, Jason, and Diane, and then Andrew was recommended by this commission. So I was actually thinking of having each alternate who's interested, explain why they're interested in filling this position.
Before we get started, I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth, but that's okay. Since I've been on this Conservation Commission, we have gathered together and looked at all the alternates and whatever and voted on them and forward that recommendation to the Board of Selectmen.
Mhm.
And this is the first time that I have seen the Board of Selectmen reject it and come up with, let's say, an interesting proposal, okay? Now, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care who we recommend or whatever it is. I just find it unusual that the Board of Selectmen would do this. In fact, I'm probably going to put really be, if whatever you want to say. I feel that the Conservation Commission should be able to run their own business with the support of the Board of Selectmen. It appears that this is just the opposite, okay, from what I've read and what I've seen. And I don't think it's right. We have alternates that have been here for a very long time that should be made members, but irregardless of whoever we decide on, okay, I don't think the Board of Selectmen should come back to us and say, oh, I don't like that particular person. I want choices. Well, I think the choices are up to us and not to the Board of Selectmen. Okay, and again, I don't care who we recommend. Could be Diane, Jason, Marion, Jack. We work with the people every single day. I mean, every day. We work with them in the meetings, we discuss things, we carry, things forward, and we, pick each other's brains, and sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree. But I just don't think that this is very unusual, and quite honestly, I'll say it, I don't think it's right. So that's my 2 cents worth.
Well said, well said.
Okay, I saw Marion first and then Roger.
I have to agree. And I've been on the board for 14 years. And I've seen many people go and many people come. There has never been a time where we have suggested somebody to the Board of Selectmen and they've denied our request. And I watched the meeting on the Board of Selectmen and they had all these ideas. Well, some are too young. Some are too old. Some have been there for ages. We need to get new people in. We need younger people. I'm sorry, but I'm 67 years old. I'm not stupid. I've been to many land buying acquisitions and stuff. And to be insulted by the Board of Selectmen because I'm older and I don't seem to have a modern uptake or whatever it is they're looking for is appalling. I agree with Harry. It is just unconscionable that the way they chose not to accept Andy. I mean, I wanted to run the last time. I seconded Andy, found out later that that couldn't go on because I was alternate that night. That's crazy. I stepped out because I thought he deserves a chance. And I don't agree with what they said.
Roger.
I totally agree with these two people. Let the record show that in our last meeting, Andrew was duly nominated, seconded, and elected. There was no other name that was brought forth and brought forth with enough people to vote to say that they wanted to come forth. So Andrew was the only name that we really recommended that day. And I think the Board of Selectmen are just trying to manipulate this process to pick somebody that they want. And I have to say, I have nothing against Jason and nothing against Diane, but if your names come up, I will vote against you as a vote of protest, because I don't think this is right.
Diane.
I think that when you look at what's happened on this board during this year, the person who put forward their resignation and the $35,000 that we lost from our budget, I think that the selectmen have a reason for being concerned on how a board with $1 million to spend is being run. I think they have concerns. And I understand why they want to just look at what's happening here rather than just rubber stamp everything that's happening in a committee that wasn't elected by the people, but that was volunteers who have progressed. When you nominated our candidate, and I think Andrew's a fine candidate, but when you nominated him solely because of his longevity on this board, which is what you said, Roger, is that I think it's his turn. And I think that what they're looking for is for people that are going to have skills that will be needed in this upcoming, very turbulent time in our town with the amount of real estate that's coming up for selection, for coming up for ability to be purchased, and our town to change radically. And I think that they're looking to have people be there for that are going to be on top of it. So I understand why they did what they did.
Marion.
I disagree with what you just said.
Thank you.
No.
I didn't say that I didn't say that I disagreed with what you said. I stated my position, Marion. If you want this to get personal between you and I'll absolutely let it go there, but
I don't think it needs to be personal,
no,
Yeah,
then,
guys,
then
guys,
fine.
please,
Okay,
please, let's not get personal.
I agree.
but I think if we look at our funding, just spending the money to spend the money is not a good idea.
No, it probably would have been a good idea to have bought Dark Hole or to have
Okay.
gone and used our,
You
and to use our
can't go
grant,
back.
Hold on a sec,
our
Diane,
grant to do that.
May Marion finish?
You cannot go back and look at what we missed. That is wrong.
You have to if you're looking at
No.
how to go forward.
No.
Okay, then I
You
disagree with
just
what you're saying.
can't go back and say, look what we missed.
Okay,
It just doesn't seem right.
I was present for that selectmen's meeting, and I will agree, this is the first time I've ever seen the selectmen make a decision such as this. And I recall a couple, they wanted the commission to discuss among things that things like
Communication.
communication, how active members have been on the board and alternates have been on the board. And they just kind of asked us for those things to consider. But of course, that is up to the membership, how we decide to proceed.
We'll say this, the board looked at it not in a negative sense. Looking at what has happened, what has not happened. Looking at and hearing this, hearing that. We wanted to make this a more open. Okay,
Okay.
I know when you get into land acquisition, if you're gonna buy something, you gotta leave it open. Because if you're dealing with the taxpayers, dealing with our funds that we give you to use. Money lost, yes, we don't like the idea of that, I'll admit that, okay? I don't like the idea that we lost that, when we could have done something different, okay? That's how the board felt, okay? Not against you, or anybody, it's the way the board had been going for years, I believe, okay? There's some people have issues with some people on the board. I don't, okay? But I'm just saying, it's procedure. Openness and procedure and communication. That's the key factor. I've been in this boat before. Okay, government. Find that communication is a key point to everything. Okay, it's not just one person or two people. It's a whole bunch of us making those decisions. That's what needs to be done. That's all.
Okay, Joe?
I would agree with Kevin that communication is the root of a lot of issues, and communication should be good within the board and with the selectmen. I said that recently at a board of selectmen meeting. As far as the 35,000 lost, we have not lost it. There are appeals to the current use money. When the current use comes in off dark hole, we don't get it all at once. The finance people assess it as the buildings are built. So I don't believe that we have lost anything. I just want to mention that over the last 20 or so years, we have acquired 398 acres. We haven't been sitting on our hands doing nothing. That's from purchase and gifts, 398 acres. Currently, there's not a lot for sale. There's the tree farm to the south for sale that I know of. And there's 11 acres that probably has a P&S on it. As far as losing dark hole, we didn't have $1.4 million to pay. I don't think Miss Du Bois was going to wait another March meeting. So I don't feel that we lost dark hole. We'll be gaining protection of the river down there, so that's a positive. Thank you. That's all I have for right now.
Does anybody have anything else? I'll leave it at the decision of the commission if everybody has any motions, but if any alternate or anybody else who's interested in a nomination for this position, if you'd like to speak, to your interest in it, then I would open the floor up to anyone wanting to do that as well. Marion?
Throw my name back in the ring. I have 14 years of experience on the Conservation Commission. I've been to site walks. I have been on work with acquisitional lands. I've always been active. I started out as a 2-year alternate, and before that 2 years was up, I had become a permanent member, and I was that way up until 2 years ago, maybe 3, because my health had gotten real bad. My mother developed pancreatic cancer. When I was in the hospital this last time, it was discovered my heart is better now than it's ever been in the past 16 years. So I feel I have the experience and the knowledge of how this commission works. I feel like, I've done more than just work on this commission. I was an assistant leader on the Boy Scouts in Litchfield, and a lot of these gentlemen here were some of my scouts. Harry and I did fishing derbies. And before Zyla's closed, and God knows I don't know how long that was, I used to go shopping over there for gifts for all the people that attended. So if you want somebody that knows what it's like, and you can say has been there, do that, or done that, I have. And I don't take anything away from Andy or anybody else that wants to run. But if the Board of Selectmen wants somebody with experience, knowledge, and longevity, I would be it.
Excellent, thank you. Andrew,
Yes.
do you have anything?
Yeah, I just want to make a couple comments. I did watch part of the Board of Selectmen meeting and understand some of their concerns. I know I've been kind of more of a background member up till this point. It's kind of my nature. I like to work in the background, help people out that are more outgoing, do their jobs and stuff. Since I've been on the board, I've been helping, taking notes, becoming secretary, been active, coming to the meetings and such. Recently, I helped procure the licensing because I want, with that, that's my goal, is to modernize the commission, be able to get out into the public with digital assets. That's my career. I've been doing GIS for 10 years. I'm the GIS administrator for over 1,600 users at TRC, so I know what I'm doing for GIS at this point. I've been in the environmental consulting industry for over 14 years, so I'm really embedded in the environment and industry. And I just want to bring, develop tools to help maintain our current land and help, with the acquisition of new lands too, with these tools that I'm familiar with. So that's what I think I can bring to the board. I know I haven't been on the board as long as Marion. And I think even Jack or John was on before I was. So I'm not the longest serving member, but I feel like I have some value and provide value to this board so far. So that's what I have.
Sure, thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, we have an alternate solution, and that's to withdraw a name for the 7th member and continue going the way we are, because we have more than adequate number of alternates.
I do believe we have to fill that seat.
Is that a requirement?
I don't think we have to recommend anybody, but
I don't think we have to fill it. You can have between 5 and 7 minutes.
okay, I don't know if the selectmen, since the selectmen have the appointing authority, if they have the ultimate decision there.
But if you didn't do that, then every meeting you'd have to appoint an alternate, which,
And I understand that. But I'm uncomfortable with the Board of Selectmen. Okay? No offense, Kev,
I understand, trust me, Harry.
we picked Diane. What happens to say if they don't like her? We pick Jason, they don't like her.
said come back with 2 or 3 people.
I think what's going on tonight, I'll be honest, Harry, Pick the two you want, bring it back to the board.
How about all four of them go in? This isn't Sophie's choice.
No, think it this way. The board here, this commission wants to recommend these two. That's fine. Okay? That's what the board is thinking about, instead of just one. Give me point A and point B. That's it. You guys can make that decision, you know? It simplifies this whole battle like. Okay?
Marion, go ahead. I saw your hand.
I was gonna say, you said you don't trust the Board of Selectmen. When I first got the email from Matt, and then I went on YouTube and I listened to the meeting. First, I felt like I was kicked in the gut because of the way things were put. And then I got very angry because I felt like they were trying to micromanage the Conservation Commission. And I think that is appalling. We have never sat and not done anything. We've listened to what people had to say. We've talked about different land acquisitions. I mean, some land is just, doesn't fit into what we've been looking for all along. And if by chance, and I know I said to Diane about don't go back looking at dark hole, but if we had spent every one of our dollars on dark hole, we would have nothing in our reserves for the upkeep of what property we have. And we'd be sitting in the negative, God forbid something happened, and we didn't need that. So that was where I stood on that, but I just was floored when I listened to the meeting and I read the letter.
Well, guys, I'm not gonna try to be the bad guy or the good guy here, but I think you could just take the two you want. Bring them to the board, you'll get some action.
Well, is the idea they would have to pick one of the two that
I
we said?
believe that's the way it needs to be done.
Or they're just gonna pick whatever they want to do?
No, the two recommendations is it. That's my feeling, that I'm gonna present to the board. You guys pick it and go.
Say two or three. Two or three.
Do what you want.
Yep. Yeah, we could,
Let the rest of the board pick.
right.
I'm not against the Conservation Commission, appears that they're angry at the board, which I understand, okay, but there's been some things that have occurred. You all know about it, and we're just gonna, I can't say it, okay? Well, we just wanna get back to the playing field. Let's get going.
So,
Mr. Chair,
yes, Jason.
I just wanted to throw my support to Diane for a couple of different reasons. You know, when I look at these boards, I was on the planning board for several years. And one thing that I look for is energy and passion, and I think Diane brings that. She's been on the Conservation Commission for a while. She's committed. She's at the site walk. She's at the cleanup day. She's at the special event. She's moving. She's shaking. She's talking to people, which is a very good thing. She comes up with ideas and she follows through with them, including the community garden. Heck, last week we signed or are going to be signing a purchase and sale agreement on a piece of property that we approved last week. She's talking to people. She's active outside the meetings. I think she's a person that should be considered for this position and should be brought forward to the Board of Selectmen.
What piece of property
Hold
did we?
on a sec, Jason.
He's an alternate.
Yeah,
But he's
that's
just,
okay.
he's just not making a motion. He's
Yeah,
just,
he's,
he's just talking.
Yeah, but I'm not nominating anybody.
He didn't say he was nominating me. He said he was supporting me.
Yeah, he
Yep.
did.
Honestly, it's wicked nice that he's doing that, but I think that we need to just look at what we're gonna do and just move forward, because we're beating a dead horse here.
okay. Joe, did you have something? A couple of different
No,
people.
I just want Harry not to go off on another topic there, that's all.
Okay, yeah, let's, for the sake of time and the discussion, we should probably stay concise to, the decision at hand. Marion, did you have anything? I saw you raise your hand. Okay,
No, that was it.
all right. So we have a couple different ways we could go this evening. We could bring back the same nomination. We could bring back 2 or 3 people, bring back 4. We could, I'll leave it at the will of the commission if anybody wants to.
My feeling, bring back 3, let it go from there. I was texting my mother.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
It should.
Yeah, when she calls, I listen.
Yep.
That's what I-
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Jason.
I'd actually like to hear from Diane what she thinks her best attributes are and related to this position.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, Diane, go ahead.
I kind of think everybody knows what I bring to the table. I'm here every month. I do a job. So Andrew, everybody has their assets. I think what we're looking for is somebody who's going to be able to help the board move forward to the future that we have in front of us right now. So
Okay.
that's kind of all I'm going to say right now. Everybody knows what I kind of bring. So.
Roger.
Mr. Chairman, where Andrew has already been nominated, seconded, and voted upon, I believe he is already nominated, so I don't believe that he should be brought back up. He's already nominated. Well, do we have to nominate him again?
Essentially, if that's the action you would like to take, then yes.
Because Mary seconded and she was an alternate, so he should be nominated.
Yes. Okay.
Then, Mr. Chairman, I move that we nominate Andrew as a permanent member.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Harry seconds. Any discussion?
From me. I have to say.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, I can't.
I was going to say I got something right.
That's good,
Jackie.
Mary, that's a good catch.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? All right, motion passes 6-0-1.
So now, are you gonna bring more people? They want,
Yeah, so if if this commission decides that we want to send more people, we can accept more motions to recommend people. Roger?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we nominate Marion
Okay,
as a permanent member.
okay, moved and seconded. Do I have any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Those opposed? And those abstaining?
Getting ahead of schedule.
Okay, motion passes 6-0-1.
Dude.
There's 2. Anybody else?
When's the Board of Selectmen meeting? We're
Next
supposed to
Monday.
go?
Next Monday. That's why the decision was made to hold a special meeting today so that we could bring forward candidates to their next meeting, so that by our regular June meeting, we would have a full board.
Yeah, God, the meeting.
Do you know what time?
I believe they meet at 6:30
6:30.
now. You guys used to meet at 6, but then somebody wanted to move it to 7, and then the compromise was 6:30.
6:30.
Yeah, so,
The early birds, some people don't get out of work.
right.
Then COVID came and that stopped everything.
Okay, so the board did say that we could recommend 2 or 3 people, or they did suggest that we can recommend up to 3 people. Do I have a motion for anybody else? Okay,
The 2, that's good.
all right. I believe that will bring us then to other business.
I'm gonna not bring up the gas station because that wasn't posted as such, and I think that's a bigger discussion for the June.
Okay.
But this land is stake, so you might want to sidewalk.
Yep, so just to kind of remind everybody, at our last meeting, the Renee Thoreau and I don't know what the term is, legal counsel? Or who came with it?
Jim Petropoulos, his engineer.
Yeah, and his engineer came and we had a discussion about them. They proposed maybe moving the driveway into what is basically the entrance of Morris Falls. I did see, I believe it was 2 weekends ago, they had placed up stakes.
I think it was just this week, but
Or just this
and then the other, just briefly, the other decision might be to take it in onto their land and come into our land from their property.
This is all because the DOT
Discussing the.
years ago granted the owner of that land only 3 curb cuts.
As it was in 1971.
1971, that was Fran Smith. Okay, and things have changed, the ownership has changed. You can get 2 house lots there, you need 2 driveways or something. It's an odd thing.
It's
It's
well,
just a
it's happening
DOT
up and
being-
down 3A.
It's the DOT thing.
But did you want to talk about when you could go out there and look at it?
Yeah, so I don't know if we want to give a date to Mr. Thoreau and Mr. Petropoulos, I think was his last name. If anybody's available either this weekend or the next weekend, what time would work for everyone? Does anyone feel anything in particular?
A site walk, is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yes, excuse me, yes.
Well, you're talking about this Saturday or the following Saturday or some evening because it stays light?
Right, I was thinking of a weekend, but that's kind of up to everybody else.
Saturday, 9:30
This week or next week?
next week.
But earlier. It's gonna get-
What? I don't get up.
9:30?
What time did he say?
Is that Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah.
I
It
think
is.
we're on just one topic meeting, so I don't have anything to make notes. Can you just send an email out?
You
with
want
the date
paper?
and time?
Okay, yeah, we're just going into other business, and it kind of, anybody who has a topic of discussion can bring it up. Outside of what, we came here to meet on in regular business.
So 9:30, not this Saturday, the following Saturday?
That's Memorial Day
I don't
weekend,
want
though.
to-
Is that Memorial Day?
Yeah.
In the
2
meantime,
weekends from-
Memorial Day weekends. That's Saturday.
Oh, sorry.
yeah, it's not a good time.
No, you're right.
Why not? Is everybody going to be away or what?
How about if, like, I can go up there and look at it anytime, and I'll get back to you, okay?
Right, I think
Yeah.
the plan was that we were gonna meet.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I can get there in time. My schedule is really weird.
Okay,
What about?
The weekends is the only time I get the family.
this Saturday? Is this Saturday?
This Saturday.
Okay,
I got nights.
Renee?
It doesn't get dark till 8. The sun
So-
doesn't go down, and there's no mosquitoes up there.
maybe an early evening, late afternoon, early evening,
Yep.
say 5 or 6 PM. Right, so this,
They're around 6.
4, 5, you know what? Bugs.
There's no bugs in Litchfield.
Really?
Where do you live?
Some guy's been knocking on my door, wants to spray my place for mosquitoes.
so I have
I've done that.
this Saturday,
That was tick.
5 PM.
This Saturday, 5 p.m.?
This Saturday, 5 PM.
Or what about a weeknight, 5 p.m.? I thought you were talking about,
Oh, I did,
You thought a weekday?
What?
what about a weekday, 5 p.m.?
Yeah, that would work for me.
okay.
Sure.
You're retired too, Roger.
This Thursday, not
Some
on,
days,
we
Bill.
could do
I can do it the
Thursday,
weekday.
Friday,
Next
Thursday. This coming Thursday, because then Friday would start the, no, Memorial, I don't have the calendar in front of me.
Today's the 20th, and it's got another 10 days from Memorial Day.
So, what
27th
about
is the Thursday.
What's
This
that?
coming Thursday?
Mhm.
27th?
27? That works for me?
I mean,
Sure.
Okay.
Send an email.
All
Please.
right. This
remind us.
10 o'clock?
5 PM,
Thursday.
27th. Yes, the 27th, 5 PM.
We show what a pile of rocks looks like and a pile of dirt. All you're gonna see.
Yeah.
And where it would
Yeah.
be an entrance.
Okay, does anybody else have any other business?
Oh, you,
Well, I thought you had something earlier.
just general comment. Been working on this hiking thing, the hiking requirements. And, as I said, I am not computer,
Right on top of it, Harry.
wow. I'm a dinosaur on this computer, so I've got it all written out. I did go up to Fish and Game and talk to them about hiking and, what they had. And, they gave me a lot of information. I got some goodies that I'll pass out next meeting. My hiking requirements that I put together, and I'll make it very short, is not so much for going up north, but I thought I'd focus on local hiking, like Litchfield, Salem, Manchester, that type of area, okay? Because the list of what you have for hiking up north is
It's huge.
extensive. Okay, and so anyway, so the next meeting, like I said, I'll have got the written stuff out and I'll pass it out, and I got a couple goodies I can pass out to you guys. And
It's a good idea, Harry, because in Milford, you have the Purgatory Brook and stuff like that. There's a lot of hiking trails there. Going through that town as well.
okay,
Roger.
but like I said, I aimed it toward local hiking, you know, or as I said, hiking/walk. So
Roger.
you guys can look it over and, you know, see what you think.
Harry, I think you missed the boat here, right over here, the Litchfield State Forest and Londonderry. There's 900 acres through Londonderry. It's some of the best hiking trails you could have, right?
No, I
here.
know, no, I understand
And
that.
there are a lot of people in this town that don't know that those are interconnected, and there's some really nice trails. in
No,
there.
I know, and that was the other thing that I had mentioned too, you know, maybe we can get some Eagle project or something going for that.
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of resources available for people to go walking, but
GPS specialist.
so my thing that I put together is when you go out, just be aware of these things, okay? And I've got 2 lists and one, anyway, I'm beating a dead horse here, so next meeting, I'll bring it and you guys can take a look at it and see what you think.
I have one quick thing to add. I'd just like to let everybody know that 2 weekends ago, there was some digging going on at the 2 building foundations at Morse Falls, those old building foundations by the lock. So I had spoken with the president of the Historical Society, and the part of that excavation exposed a lot of the bricks and some artifacts that were in those foundations. And it was his recommendation that since those are loose and out in the open and anyone could take them, to collect them, document what section of the foundation they came from. So I did that. The bricks and the artifacts I have been collected for safekeeping to make sure they were
Who
in
was digging
public
that?
hands.
Just people?
No clue. It
There's
looks like.
people with metal detectors going everywhere and they see an old foundation. You can go up, there's a lot of places in town in the woods where I know there's foundations that are not in the trails
Yeah.
that they're gonna find. Deer hunting helped me find
Yeah.
that.
And so the plan is to put out signage there just to remind people that they should not be disturbing this site. Should be protected. Anyone's welcome to explore it, but don't dig it and take stuff away from there. But that's what I have. Roger, I saw you raise your hand.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
I second it.
All right, motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Harry?
Oh, sorry.
So that was, and Kevin, did you also say aye?
I
Okay. Motion passes 7-0-0. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. See you, Jason.
Bye.